Hey guys, we're here at GDC and we are taking a look at Old Man's Journey, which is a game I actually first saw in very early prototype form at last GDC and loved it. Was blown away by the concept and the art style, and everything about it was great. But you guys weren't quite ready to talk about it.
Yeah, it was still a bit under wraps.
Yeah, so then it kind of had to keep it a secret for a couple of months until you finally had like a teaser trailer in July maybe last year, something like that?
I think it was August.
August,
yeah.
so let the world know what it is, and so now we get to come back and see the progress you've made in a year, and it sounds like this is kind of very near completion. You're shooting for spring?
Yes, we're shooting for spring.
Okay, cool. So just in case anybody missed, you know, the previous announcements or whatever, what is Old Man's Journey?
Old Man's Journey is it's a soul-searching puzzle adventure.
Okay.
It is slow-paced and narrative-driven. For me, it's definitely about the emotional experience that you as a player can have with it. It's still a puzzle game though, but we call it pressure-free puzzles.
Right.
So our design goal for it was to always be interesting and never frustrating. And what you do is you accompany this old man on an important journey. So he's receiving a letter here. He's living alone in this like hut at the sea. And you'll never know what's inside the letter, actually.
Oh, really?
But that's the
part of the intrigue or the mystery?
Yeah. And I think you will kind of guess when you finish the game.
Okay. So but you're not going to spoil it now.
I'm definitely not going to spoil it now. And our goal is also like we're telling a story, basically the life story of the old man.
Okay.
At its core, it's about family. Well, it's about struggling to balance your own personal fulfillment and family life.
Okay.
But we've tried to tell this without any text whatsoever, or any spoken word.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so it's only visuals.
So you're starting your journey.
I'm starting my journey. So what I can do is like I can tap for the old man to walk there, and what you can also see is that he can jump.
Yeah.
But basically he switches hills or layers every time when there's an intersection between these layers.
So when they sort of touch each other, or it looks like they're touching each other.
Yeah, when it looks like they're touching each other, exactly. You can also see that while it's very flat, it still has depth in there. Yeah. And we also try to make stuff interactable, so you can touch things and move it around.
Really
it's a bit crazy.
Yeah, I could do that for hours.
And there's always like, he's an old man, right? So he needs to rest after a few ways. When he sits down, there's usually something you can tap or interact with that triggers a memory in the old man. And that's how we will tell his life story through, we call them like, they're kind of like vignettes, like beautiful vignettes of his memory. So they're like frozen moments in time, but they still move around a bit. So that's the old man when he was younger. And we have, so that's the only way we will tell the story. So there's only single frame pictures. So we are telling a simple story, but I think it's something that people can connect to on a universal level. And also, because it's only visual, I think there's space enough for people to bring in their own personal experience and interpret it in the way that feels natural to them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And now we're kind of like moving to the core mechanic of it. So you've seen we can touch to make him walk, but what you can also do is you can shape hills. So you can drag hills around, and you do that to build intersections. Because like now he cannot walk up here, but if I pull it down, he can walk up here.
So yeah, this was the main thing that really stands out about this game and kind of blew my mind when you showed it to me last year. It was like, you know, such a neat way to play with the perspective of the land. And, you know, manipulate it with the touchscreen, which kind of is, you know, something very unique to a touchscreen game.
Yeah, I mean, you can play it with a mouse as well. It will also come out for PC, but I do think that on the touchscreen, it's just like it's like one abstraction layer less to interact with everything, and it makes it more direct and stuff like that. So that's definitely something. Why it was also like we were thinking about making a game for touch. And when we saw like a picture of rolling hills fading in the distance, there was the idea of what it would be really nice if you could shape them with the touch. And so touch was definitely something that was in that's like the core of the design from the start. And once we had this core mechanic, we also knew we need a character that really needs to go somewhere. So this picture had a very, very strong vibe of wanderlust. More nostalgic than like happy peppy, but like a drive to really go somewhere and be somewhere.
Right. Oh,
and that's, it's kind of a shocker, but nothing happens to the old man.
You got jump scares in it. So what I think is cool about this game too is beyond being able to like actually touch and manipulate the land itself, it feels like you built this as you want people to play with it. Poke and prod at every little thing, and that's why you have so many little interactive things.
Exactly, especially in the beginning of the game, we do want that, but later will be a bit toned down because all of it is like following an emotional progression that is based on this life story of the old man, but it's also something we want to evoke in the player, so at least get them in the mind, in like this emotional set. Maybe it's just empathy for the old man, it's what they feel themselves. And we try all aspects of the game to align with this emotional progression. So it is the gameplay, which is very mellow and easy, and at the start it gets a bit more challenging later, but like never really frustrating. But as well as the acoustics and the visuals and all of this kind of aligns along this emotional progression. It's actually a trick from that game company. Flower and Journey. Right. From a talk from them that they have these things, and I think it helped us. We had that from the start, and it helped us a lot of focusing the game. So it's time to sit down again for the old man. He's now at a hotel. He's probably gonna spend the night there. Can again interact with stuff.
Cool. Oh, that's fun.
There's even someone smoking a cigarette. Hopefully nobody will be offended by that. But it plays like in the 90s or something like that. It's a fiction. It's like inspired very much by Europe, by like France, Italy, Spain. But it's like a mixture of all these things.
Okay. Cool.
So I tapped on the guitar player. He got picked up, which reminds the old man of something again.
So the beard stroke is he's going to reflect on something.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's changing. It will be changing, but there's a few things he always kind of does.
So that's cool. So a little, that same car just drove by and honked too. So.
Yeah, it's not the same car.
Oh, okay.
It had a different color. Maybe we should make it more different because it's not the same car. This is him again.
Other people said that, and you're like, no.
This is him with the girl he met in the memory before. He's taking a road trip.
That's cool.
So that's definitely one of the nice memories. Later on, there will be tougher decisions he made in life.
Oh, no, he'll tell that now.
Yeah, now he's sleeping there. And yeah, so it's very much inspired. Like it's not autobiographical or anything like that.
Right.
But it is inspired by our own life. So Clemens and me, we both have small kids. Actually, our company, Broken Rules, it has 5 co-founders. We made 4 games since 2009 and 8 kids.
Wow,
so,
geez, okay.
So like that is a big topic in our life, and that's also why we wanted to make this game. We wanted to make a game that we personally can connect to, and we can like put our heart and soul in it, in a sense. And I think there's this is a really ugly debug menu.
That's fine.
But
we won't judge you
for it. It will be better.
I
just wanted to switch to a later level. So there's one more level in the demo, which is like a bit more complex, and also at a later point you see it's like raining, right? It's definitely a bit darker for the old man now.
So yeah, this is cool. I've seen those first 2 areas a couple of times. They were in your teasers and stuff too, so this
I don't
is
know
all
if
new
this
to me.
was in a teaser. I think we've really polished this like a week or so before GDC, so it definitely wasn't in a video yet. And this is like actually when he's like remembering more bad stuff. So, and the way we also reflect that, not only like obviously in like rain and storm like that, but it's also the only part, the only levels in the game where you actually break things as well. So you have these walls that you have to break through to make them thing, and that's just a simple example of like how we try to have really every aspect of the game to align with the emotional state the old man is in there. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much my pitch and the story of the old man. We're trying to get this done soon after GDC, and hope we can still make a launch in spring.
Very cool. Well, awesome. I'm happy to see even more of Old Man's Journey, and loved it last year, and it looks, 1,000 times better already this year. So.
Yeah, I've got a really good art team on the team. Like Clement Scott is the creative and art director of the team, and he's amazing. And like, he took this level, it already looked good before, and like 1 or 2 days later it just looked amazing. So it's like, I'm almost like, this is done, okay, this is good enough, and then
it's like, no, go back and do some more.
And then it really makes it shine, so that's definitely awesome.
Great. Well, we really appreciate you showing off Old Man's Journey to us, and we will be looking forward to it releasing hopefully sometime this spring.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.